Good afternoon, all. I hope you all have been completely vaccinated. You all are safe and doing great. But I'm very glad to inform you that I have received my SEBI license to advise you legally on investment, building your portfolios, and on all derivative products like future and options on stocks or future and options on the indices that we usually do. So now your mentor is a SEBI registered advisor. Thank you very much. After a very long time, I'm shooting this setup video on Nifty and BankNifty. Before that, let's see what happened yesterday. Why market nosedived so much? One, new and hyperactive variant of COVID was identified in South Africa. Few cases have been found in Israel as well. These variants are potentially very aggressive in spreading the viruses. Reports are yet awaited, as to how it can impact and if the existing vaccine or the doses that we have will be effective on these variants or not. The cases are pretty much low globally, but the growth may be aggressive if not controlled at the moment. Then Germany gets into complete lockdown. Germany news was already in the market since many days, so I don't concur that market have fallen because no, of the lockdown in Germany. Then third, the fall that we have yesterday was unanticipated. Okay, it was totally unanticipated. That too after huge gap down on Bank Nifty by 500 points and on Nifty around 180 200 points. This fall was completely unanticipated. There were news 35 cases or 40 cases have been found of the new variant, but in past we have seen 5 lakh 10 lakh cases getting recorded on a daily basis, but still market were performing pretty well. Okay, so this fall was totally unanticipated. So let's see what's next on Monday for the indices. Looking at the levels, let's first check the levels on a daily basis. Okay, on a higher time frame, yes, there has been steep fall on Bank Nifty. It is yet trading in a downward sloping channel, which is pretty aggressive. If you relate my older videos, I have been saying that when any momentum is taking place in a very steep manner, the span of that fall or the span of that rise is very limited. Such trending moves does not sustain for a very longer period. So now looking at this fall that we are having, it has to completely break it down. It cannot continue to be in this small range and keep falling like this. If it has to sustain, it has to completely break it down on Monday or back max by Tuesday, or it has to break it out. There are either of the possibility that may happen in coming days, but it's high time that this steep downward sloping channel has to be broken out, or it has to be broken down. Further to it, if it breaks down, if Bank Nifty manages to break down this steeply downward sloping channel, then we are going to expect the support somewhere around 34,700. That is no sort of you're going to be the final support before we begin to witness further bloodbath. This is too much of pessimism. I'm sorry to say that, but this would be too much of pessimism to think over markets at the moment, looking at insignificant number of cases that has been found. I will pray. I will urge you all to pray that pray that things get fine, things get start getting back to normal. At least the way it was before 1 or 2 weeks, where things were getting slowly and slowly better. We were getting back to our daily life. Things were getting onto their place. Shops were opening. So we want that cycle to be there. We want that phase to be there. It is very exciting, or it is very interesting, when we see a steep falling market. But that steep falling market is not going to help you for a longer period. Your savings are going to be impacted. Your income is going to be impacted. Your daily living is going to be impacted. So don't urge or don't pray for such fall to be taking place. I know uh, the fall are always aggressive than the rise that we see on the chart. So let's pray that this new variants get arrested pretty very much early than it is anticipated or it is expected. let it get contained completely, let us start getting back to normal. Okay, so let's see by Monday what development takes place, if we are going to witness further sharp fall on the bank nifty and nifty, or we are going to see some bit of good amount of recovery onto it. So if it breaks down, we are going to expect a support somewhere around 34,000 to 34,500 odd levels. If that is broken down, I don't want to call that level now, because that is going to be pretty bad, which no one should be anticipating. So let's hope, fingers crossed, pray to God that things get back to normal. New variant gets contained completely, no further expansion in infection takes place. That is on to the bank nifty. Now on nifty, last session indicates a breakdown has taken place on the upward trending channel that we were having. Okay, but this is just one day so far. Again, same theory. If things are going to get worse, if things are going to get out of hand, we are going to get back to those previous COVID phase, then do anticipate the levels of 15,600 or 15,500 onto nifty, which is going to be very bad, which is going to hit each and every one of us financially and emotionally as well. We wouldn't want to get into a situation where again the salaries are getting cut, or salaries are not being credited, shops are getting closed, business are getting closed down. Don't want that phase to be back again. So let's hope, fingers crossed, Monday gets back with some positivity, things start getting back to normal. Okay. Now, with respect to your intraday levels, purely from trading perspective, keeping emotions completely out, discussing the levels and the OI data. So, Bank Nifty had made a low of 35,900, and it has somewhere rested around 35,950, which is exactly its OI support level, which is 36,000 to be precise. So the moment on Monday, if we get to see, or if we happen to witness 35,800 or 35,750 is getting breached, this is an indication that the OI support has been broken down, and here we are going to enter into the put. Here we are going to enter into short trade with the PE of 35,400. The IVs, the IV means the implied volatility, are at pretty higher levels, 20-22 odd percent on Bank Nifty, 16-17% on Nifty, which are pretty high at the levels. But on such circumstances where the market are steeply falling, there is panic, there is uncertainty around. On such occasions, yes, IV usually shoots up. Okay, so that is with respect to your short trade. Long trade, if there has to be a long trade, that itself will happen with the gap up opening. Okay, if there has to be a recovery in the market, it has to be seen with a gap up opening, which will be led by some news, or some information, or some confirmation that we will be getting before market opens. On the other side, if such information is being received during the market hours, that may also trigger to some recovery or some steep bounce on the market. Okay, so the CE I cannot suggest you at the moment as per the levels. If I have to tell you that ideal CE will only make sense when we break out the level of 36,700 on Bank Nifty, which is pretty much 700 points higher than the current levels. But this is as per the levels. But if it has to be triggered based on the news or information, uh, that has to be done during the real time during the market hours. Okay. With respect to OI data, 36,000 is holding just 5 lakh put shorts, which is pretty much low, and doesn't give or provides much confidence that it may continue to, or it may be able to hold the fall if it triggers further. 36,500 is holding pretty much of good amount of call shots compared to the put shots that it has. 37,000 is insanely strong resistance. So unless there is some sentimental shift, there is some positivity, there is some good news in the market, these levels cannot be broken out. With the fall in the market, with the breakdown of the levels of 35,800 to 750, we will be expecting another 700 to 900 points fall on Bank Nifty. Okay, so that is how the Bank Nifty will get traded on Monday. Moving on to the Nifty, as you have seen, there is already a breakdown, a slight breakdown has been seen on Nifty, but still preliminary. Everything depends upon Monday, the news, whatever we get. With respect to levels, we will enter into short on Nifty the moment it breaks down the level of 16,960 with the PE of 16,900. Again, we are anticipating around 180 or 200 points fall onto Nifty. The near support on Nifty is somewhere around 16,850 to 16,800. Now, this is another channel. If it further breaks down, then things are going to get worse. Okay, which I already discussed some time back on the daily and weekly time frame. With respect to the long trade on Nifty, we will have to break out this consolidation. The better level to enter, or which will indicate you that things are getting back to normal, is above 17,275. While that is a level which indicates you that things are going, turning a bit little better. But for you to enter into long trade, the moment Nifty breaks out 17,225, you can enter into CE of 17,300, expecting the target of 17,450 led by the short covering. Now, this probability is only possible if we get some better news, some good news, some positive news over this new variant of COVID-19. With respect to the OI data, 17,100 got 10 lakh around put shorts, which is not very strong, but it's a sort of a moderate support at the moment. With respect to OI data, 17,100 is holding somewhere around 10 lakh of put shorts, which is not pretty much strong at the moment. We would want at least 20 lakh of put shorts for any level to be considered as a strong support on Nifty, but this is pretty much low. We can term it as a moderate support, but we are already trading below that support levels. So quite possibility, even a little bit extension of the fall, a little bit drag onto Nifty will lead to put short covering of 17,100, which will lead to further drag onto the Nifty, the levels as we discussed. So the moment Nifty breaks down the level of 16,960, we are going to enter into the put short of 16,900. The anticipated fall may lead us towards 16,850 to 800, but if at all, if this channel support is broken down, we are going to anticipate the levels of around 16,700 to 650 on Nifty. It can get that worse. With respect to upper levels, 17,200 got 18 lakh of around call shorts compared to 8 lakh of a put shorts, and 17,300 got around 32 lakh of a call shorts, which is insanely very strong resistance at the moment. So that is all with respect to the setup for Nifty and Bank Nifty. The levels to short, the levels to long with the Cs and Ps have been suggested you out here. Uh, but do expect a good amount of choppiness, volatility while you trade intraday on the indices. On such occasions or on such phases, it becomes very important that you have to get onto the push and pull method of trading. It cannot happen, that you have entered into one directional trade, and you just placed your stop losses, and you are you are moving away from your terminal. This is something which cannot happen. The trades will remain very choppy. After you are entering, you may have to pull out your trade with little bit of dent on your position, or at cost, or at a very marginal gains. This push and pull has to take place unless and until you don't catch the actual direction or actual momentum for that day. So do expect a good amount of choppiness, a good amount of push and pull, and a good amount of volatility on Monday. Now, with respect to my offerings and my services, what I'm currently servicing you all, I have the daily Nifty and Bank Nifty intraday trading channel, where I will be suggesting you the Cs and Ps, the real time, the breakout, breakdowns, or the reversal from supports, or the reversal from resistance take place. That is how we are going to trade. We are usually trading with the stop loss of not more than 50 points on Bank Nifty, and not more than 14 to 16 points on Nifty. You can join the live index channel by subscribing to it. If you are not uh, having that much of time, if you don't have that much of screen time, you being employed, you being on calls, you have to be in office, then you can join the cash stock channel, where I will be suggesting you around 3 to 5 stocks on a daily basis, which are breaking out, which are making reversal from their support levels. So sort of a portfolio building services, but these stocks will be in such a manner where they will be holding, or they will be having potentials to generate faster gains in a shorter span of time, gains in between 10 to 15 odd percent, or 15 to 20 odd percent in a span of a week, or at the max 4 weeks. With the average SL that we hold on to such stocks is in between 6 to 7 odd percent. Then the third service is the PMS service, not the PMS service. It's a PMS service where I will be helping you build your portfolio. You bring on the capital into your account, and I will be suggesting you as to what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and when it needs to be done. That is how these three services have been plotted, and I'm currently catering to all our members. Thank you for watching this video. The link to join the open Telegram channel, where you get all information as to how to subscribe, what are the performances, what are we currently doing, is being shared in the description box. You can join that channel. You can reach out to me personally. You can discuss. You can ask me any queries, questions. I will be glad to help you out in clarifying your doubts. Then accordingly we can associate with the respective services. Thank you very much. See you on Monday. Bye bye.